What? That's actually too much.
Greetings, movie fans. You're all very welcome to the Big Reviewski with Omniplex Cinemas and my Omnipass. I'm Owen Doherty, and this week I am over the moon to be joined by two very special mutants. They were both born with superhuman abilities, activated, of course, by the X gene. Please welcome the X-Boys to the studio. It's Rory Cashin and Paul Moore.
Ooh, yeah.
X-Boys?
Does that feel right?
Doesn't sound right.
Does that feel good?
You don't want to Google it.
Yeah.
Just don't Google X-Boys.
X-Boys, Rory and Paul.
Isn't we already have Hydra Man? Is that right?
Yeah, I know.
Are we bringing him back?
That's a different cinematic universe.
Yeah.
So it is.
I can like Chris Evans it. I can be both.
Of course.
Human Torch and
Hydra
Captain
Man.
America.
And Hydra Man. So yes, X-Boys, Rory and Paul. If you'd like to get in touch
I don't like it at all.
It just doesn't get
with
better.
the X-Boys, you can tweet us at Big Reviewski. You can get in touch
So
on
if we're
Instagram.
the X-Boys, did that make you the daddy boy?
Oh no! Stop this. Oh, I started this. I'm so
did,
sorry, everybody. We have a super show coming up for you. We have some of the X-Men coming up who are actually women. We have Sophie Turner and Jessica Chastain, who are stars of the brand new X-Men Dark Phoenix. So we've got that to look forward to. We also have Omniplex tickets, as ever, to give away. So you can see brand new films. I shouldn't shake my face like that.
Like X-Men.
And like X-Men Dark Phoenix, exactly. But kicking things off this week, it is, of course, time for the big question. And for this week's big question, it's over to X-Boy number one, Paul Moore.
It just does not improve at all.
Why am I X-Boy number 2?
X2. So we're now in June. We survived. Congrats, guys. We made it through this far.
did
Go for it.
Yeah, we did it. We've looking back.
Justine didn't.
No, geez, the ghost is still
R.I.P.
here.
Justine.
Plenty of great stuff coming up for the next 6 months at the halfway point of the cinematic year. Loads to see in your local Omniplex. But we've already seen some really, really good stuff in the first 6 months. So simple enough. What was your favourite film you've seen so far of 2019?
So a couple of contenders jumping out
I knew he'd
straight
do this.
away. But no. While I make up my
5
mind on
films.
which one it is, Paul, what did you go for?
I went for something that I didn't know an awful lot about before I went in. I knew I'd love John Wick, which I did. I knew I'd like an awful lot of the other stuff I've seen. But can you ever forgive me? Just I went in, I had no preconception of what it was. I knew it was a good performance. I didn't know if it was a comedy or drama, but it just really spoke to me. We've spoken previously about Melissa McCarthy. I'm not the biggest fan of her film work. I really liked her stuff in SNL and stuff, but I always found a lot of her performance kind of the one note, the loud kind of larger-than-life character. But in this, it's completely different, and rightfully, I think she nominated for Golden Globe. Basically, just plays Lee Israel, a bum writer who is down on her luck, looking to make a quick buck. Ends up impersonating writing these famous letters from famous authors. And Richard E. Grant in it is kind of a similar author as well, and he's so good in this as well. As a double pairing, they work so well. Like, no morals, no money, alcoholism, writers. I mean, it just spoke to me. But it was really, really clever done. They rightfully deserved all the nods they got, and just a real one of those films that just really crept up on me. Kind of as well like some of the other ones I saw. Previous comedy we talked about a few weeks ago. I'm not going to do a known and mention it, which I loved. But this I really, really loved, and as a double pairing, they were so funny, really funny. And Richard E. Grant is just amazing in it.
Well, off the back of the film, obviously he got Oscar nominated and could not contain his joy.
His social media covering of his own happiness is... we need more of that in the world.
But this was the thing, because it was so lovely to see. He's, whatever, in his 50s, I would imagine.
Okay.
But he was just like a big kid. He was so happy. Posting videos the day he found out. He was crying with joy. And then even at the Oscar parties, getting to meet people who have been his heroes his entire life. And he was now in their company. And as you said, Paul, everybody raving about his performance and Melissa McCarthy's in the film. And he just seemed like just living his best life.
That image of him and Donald Gleason, still, I immediately can already hear him talking.
But this is obviously one of the first pictures that we've seen of the brand new Star Wars film, The Rise of Skywalker, and he clearly plays one of the evil admirals in the fleet. With the First Order, Donald Gleason is standing behind him, and then you kind of look and you're like, "Whoa, stern!" Then you remember what Richard E. Grant is actually like in real life. So I'm hoping that his performance kind of is enough to, like, kind of detract from, "Oh, he's really happy on Twitter."
And I think it'll be big for Melissa McCarthy as well, because it just gets her out of what we were getting her used to seeing in. Because I remember the Happy Time Murders, and it was like, you're better than this stuff, you know, you can do much better. So hopefully it opens up that kind of, she can do the drama, she can do the comedy. And if you haven't seen, can you ever forgive me, if you do get a chance, track it down, because it was one of those films that kind of had maybe 2 or 3 weeks and then kind of left very quickly. But yeah, really, really good.
Well, she's in that new film with Tiffany Haddish and Donald Gleason, isn't she? It's out this December. It's like a female mobsters movie.
Oh, yes.
The Kitchen?
The Kitchen, yes, that's
So
it.
it does look like she is correcting
Branching out.
her career.
Okay.
She's doing a McConaughey,
She is.
so good for her.
Is
A
there a
McCarthy?
McCarthy? There's something in there.
Renaissance?
We'll get it by Christmas.
Okay.
We've got time. Yes. So I have actually, I've whittled it down to one.
Nice use of whittled, by the way.
Yeah, which is the whole point of the question. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to say that my answer is Beale Street, if Beale Street could talk. I'd probably just start crying if I did pick that one, but I'm not picking that one, as much as I absolutely love that film and the soundtrack as well, Agape in particular. But the one that I am going to go for is predictable as ever, Owen. It's Avengers Endgame. It is my favourite film of 2019 so far. Let's take
That was
a little...
almost your answer for last week's hidden gem question, wasn't it?
yeah, every single week. Listen, I haven't gone for Showgirls, which is a start, though. So let's take a little look at Avengers Endgame.
I finally know what I have to do. I know in my heart that it's right.
Groot, put your seatbelt on!
I'm always picking up after you boys.
Your haircut? Notice you've copied my beard. Some people move on, but not us. This is the fight of our lives. Part of the journey is the end.
I know it's like the biggest film in the world this year. It's most likely going to be the biggest film of all time ever. I know that this isn't like some kind of like, ooh, great recommendation, Owen. I might go check that out because everyone's seen it like 9 times probably. But this is the film that I've had the most fun at. Although, as we were saying, Paul, we went to see John Wick 3 last week.
Don't you dare.
No.
Your third one now.
No. But there was something special about Avengers Endgame, having been through that entire journey of the 22 films over the 11 years. And I absolutely loved it. And then even on repeat viewing, just picking up on so many different things and reading up about it. And there's certain scenes, again, not spoiling anything, certain scenes in it that you just, whenever you read up about it, it was actually, it just adds a lot more to the film. So I thought I was going to cry at Beale Street. Maybe I'm going to cry about Avengers Endgame as well.
I definitely cried more at Endgame than Beale Street.
Oh, really? I did cry at both, yes.
But
I'm an emotional wreck. More on that later. But yes, so that has been my favourite film of 2019 so far.
Solid choice.
There you go.
I appreciate it.
Okay, cool. Rory, what did you go for?
The favourite.
I forgot about the favourite. Can I pick the favourite as well?
My favourite. It was back January. Obviously, it did quite well at all the awards.
It certainly did.
It was. I know it was released in America before the end of last year, but we didn't get it until January this year.
I think it was New Year's Day.
Who directed it?
Of course, Mr. Well, I feel like Rory needs to say
go
it.
you.
Okay.
Let's all give it a go.
Yeah, Elizabeth Berkley. It is, of course, Yorgos Lanthimos.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yes. I got to sit down with Mr. Yorgos Lanthimos.
Lanthimos.
To discuss the comedy, the super dark comedy. I loved it so much. The 3 lead performances, any one of them could have and should have won an Oscar.
Well, as you said, 3 unbelievably strong performances.
Yeah.
Can we take a look at it? I've got a craving for seeing some of it. Is that okay
Yeah,
with you?
sure, yeah.
Okay.
And for hot chocolate.
Craving for
That's,
that.
that's what's in the clip.
Oh, that's cool. Double
It's
whammy.
a segue.
Nice.
Are the people really angry about the land tax?
They'll be angry when the French are sodomising their wives and planting their fields with garlic.
The Tories must not be rode roughshod over, though. And more dead if we do it.
It is painful to lose men, but we cannot be half-hearted in this, or they will see our weakness and take us, and we will lose thousands more. None for the Queen.
What?
Well, you cannot have hot chocolate. Your stomach, the sugar inflames it.
Abigail, hand me that cup.
Do not.
I'm sorry. I do not know what to do.
Oh, fine. Give it to her. And then you can get a bucket and a mop for the aftermath.
Take me back.
I haven't actually seen The Favourite since I saw it in the cinema, and I feel like it's another one that's going to reward going back and watching it again. Just
Yeah,
because it's so
it's-
goddamn funny.
It's really, really funny. I need to, like, the whole scene of her just tearing out that guy. It's like, are you looking at me? Don't look at me. Are you looking at me?
That's amazing.
Like, yeah, it's so well written. It's so well performed, and I can't wait to see what Yorgoth Lantimus does next.
So, 3 really good recommendations there from the best films of 2019 so far. There are like gazillions of others as well. But Can You Ever Forgive Me, Avengers Endgame, and The Favourite. And of course, Avengers Endgame is still out at the minute. You can go and check it out.
And I figured the reason you brought it up is because Booksmart is brilliant.
Yep.
And
Yes, of
not enough
course.
people are going to see it.
They really should.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was going to be your.
Yeah, it
pick.
was torn. Yeah, but I think it's because I went in expecting Booksmart to be great. Because like first reviews from South by Southwest were amazing, but I knew nothing about Can You Ever Forgive Me, and it's one of those that just when you know nothing and you're kind of bowled over, you're like, yeah, it just sticks with you a bit more.
Yeah.
But Booksmart is so good. Check it out. There's loads of films, and we'll probably do a preview for the next half coming
For
up
the rest
in the
of
next
the
few
year.
weeks. So yeah,
Definitely.
loads more
Definitely.
good stuff to come in. Your nearest.
Omniplex
There you
Cinemas.
go.
Smooth. Is that also how you do a smooth plug right there?
Like sandpaper.
Now it's time for one of the brand new trailers that has been released in recent weeks. So I know there were really strong ones like Terminator, Dark Fate, which is out. There's also
AKA Sarah Connor, Dark Fate.
yes, Sarah Connor, yeah, and there's a brand new Irish film with Aisling Franciosi.
The Nightingale.
The Nightingale,
Yeah,
which
looks
looks
really good.
brilliant
With
as
the
well.
Irish?
Well, she's Irish.
Well, she's
the
an
lead.
Irish colonist goes to Australia, revenge film, and from the director of The Babadook, Jennifer Grey, is it? No, Jennifer.
Jennifer Grey
No,
from
not
Ferris
Jennifer Grey.
Bueller.
Yeah.
So, so those all look brilliant. But there was another trailer released the past few days, which is The Goldfinch, and which is obviously based on the hugely popular book The Goldfinch. Have either of you read the book? As we established last
it
week,
called?
I'm still in the middle of learning to read. Still The Goldfinch. Have either of you read this book?
No, I've heard about it.
Oh, you see
And
people walking around with this book.
like Pulitzer Prize winning.
Pulitzer Prize winning,
So,
exactly.
You know it's good.
I feel like we should set up some awards that Paul is responsible for deciding on, and they're the Pulitzer Prize winning. What do you think? Could that work? Would you be up for that?
It's not getting an X.
don't hate
He
it.
doesn't
While
hate it.
we discussed the merits of my woeful joke, here's a little look at The Goldfinch.
In Amsterdam, I dreamt I saw my mother again. Same beautiful pale blue eyes.
This is the one I was talking about.
When I lost her, I lost sight of any landmark that might have led me someplace happier.
You're the boy, aren't you? The boy whose mother was killed.
So we've established that even though this is one of the world's most popular books, that it did win the Pulitzer Prize back in 2014. None of us have read it. Uncultured swines.
I have read books.
I've read some
Yeah.
books. You can't expect me to read all of them.
All
Read
three of them.
The Making of Showgirls.
That's what a book. Yeah.
It's a pop-up book.
So The Goldfinch stars Ansel Elgort and actually has Irish director John Crowley, who directed Brooklyn and kicked things off with Intermission as well. Really good cast in this. You have Nicole Kidman and Ansel Elgort, as we said, plays the lead. Like
Our good friend Sarah Paulson.
Yeah,
Sarah Paulson as well, of course. So what do you make of Ansel Elgort first of all? Like,
The
are you
German
fans?
town?
Yeah. Are you fans of his? Because I think he is. There's something about his face that makes you want to go douche, and maybe just
A douche.
give him a little douche on the nose.
Yeah. Like I actually quite enjoyed him in, was it The Fault in Our Stars?
Yes.
I thought he was good in that. He was in, was it?
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
I hated him in Baby Driver. Straight up.
Yeah, I was
Hated
not
him.
a fan of him.
Because I think when you look like you might be smug all the time, you probably shouldn't play someone who is smug.
He's smug all the time. Yeah.
So that really went against him for me. But was it The Maze Runner?
The Divergent series. Yes,
yeah,
that's
The
what it was.
Detergents.
The
And-
Detergents, yeah.
Yeah, he was a smug
He
person. in
plays
that too.
smug.
I think because he just
incredibly
naturally does look smug.
well. Yes.
So in this, it doesn't look as smug. He looks like he's really trying to get over the death of his mother who's killed in a terrorist attack in Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Yeah, so if we've seen this film once, we've seen it a million times. No, well, this is the thing. I know we were talking about me being an emotional wreck, but whenever this trailer did come out, I was sitting at my desk watching it, and I just started welling up because even that scene that they show that his mammy is killed in this terrorist attack, and obviously the film's about him coming to terms with that, and then where his life goes after that life-changing event. I was like, oh my God, this trailer is making me very emotional. So no, I can't wait to see the
another
film.
reason not to go to museums.
Yeah, exactly. Avoid all museums at all costs. But yeah, he is pretty unlikable, I think, Ansel Elgort. I don't see why he keeps getting cast in things at the moment. Like obviously directors like Edgar Wright are like, this is the guy for me. He's the star of Baby Driver. But Edgar Wright could make anybody look cool. He could probably make us look cool if he wanted to as well. A couple of slow motion cuts and cool soundtrack. Sure. It's a bit of a stretch though. But there's something about this film or this trailer already. I'm like, I really, really want to, one, read the book, and two, see the film.
I'm curious, will it fall between kind of like
3 line to read.
summer kind of like popcorn, or is it actually pushing award season? Because like Crowley is clearly liked after Brooklyn, and Nicole Kidman, I like what she's been doing. Like I thought she was really good in Line, Big Little Lies. Well, like I like what she's doing recently in this period of her career. So I'm curious, where are they kind of thinking? Is it for the awards audience or what?
Oscars, yeah.
Massive
you think,
Oscars,
yeah?
Well, it's released. The film's going to be coming out in September, so yeah, pushing into the end of the year and award season.
I know this is like insider nerd talk. The cinematographer is Roger Deakins,
Amazing.
which is why it looks so beautiful.
Yes.
Because
So
he's,
obviously Roger Deakins won his first Oscar after being nominated a gazillion times. What did he win for? Blade Runner 2049, wasn't
yeah,
it?
but he did like Sicario and
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, he's just like
Fargo and-
stunning cinematographer. So Roger Deakins has made Ansel Elgort less punchable in the face, which is an amazing achievement, probably more important than his Oscar win.
That's
I would
Oscar
imagine.
number 2 in the bag.
Yeah, in the bag. So The Goldfinch coming out in September, and yes, cannot wait to see that. One of the big releases this week, of course, is X-Men Dark Phoenix. We promised you the stars, and we're going to deliver on that promise. Before we chat to Sophie Turner and Jessica Chastain, here is a little look at the brand new X-Men film.
Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier. Help is on the way.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
We get the astronauts, we bring them home. Go.
The heat signature's rising fast.
We gotta get out of here.
Where's Jean?
Where is she? Jean!
She should be dead.
Did you hear what the kids are calling you? Phoenix.
Hello, Jean.
Who are you?
The better question is, who are you?
Something's happening to me. When I lose control, bad things happen. But it feels good.
So we're trying to work out how many X-Men films there are so far. Of course, we could just use our good friend the internet, but we just prefer to try and do it ourselves.
Google.
So as we said, we reckon there's roughly 11. We're in the double figures with the X-Men films. And obviously this is one of the prequels with the younger cast again. So Sophie Turner's returning as Jean Grey. So they've done Days of Future Past.
Who has?
First Class, the younger ones.
Well, she only arrived in Apocalypse, I think.
She was Apocalypse, yeah. The other ones, like people like Nicholas Hoult there as Beast.
He's been around since First Class.
Yeah, Fassbender and McAvoy as well. So this is the fourth one kind of in that mini subsection.
Yeah, this one is set in 1992.
Oh, it's 90s.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think it was the year the new... I think it's like tied into the year that the Phoenix story was told in the comics for the first time, maybe.
Cool.
So, and I think that's when it got really big in the world, because it was around the time that the animated series came out.
Was on TV as well.
With the greatest intro music of all time.
Unbelievable.
And actually, the credits were amazing. And everyone literally just
running along.
Yeah.
It was quality. So, Sophie Turner, obviously, huge star now off the back of Game of Thrones as well.
Game of Thrones?
No.
All right.
What's the last season like?
And yes, the rest of the cast return, because you keep forgetting, like, it's an unbelievable cast with Ty Sheridan is in there as well, but Jennifer Lawrence, like, just
Oscar winner,
handily playing Mystique there as well.
Just hanging about.
Yeah, but before we hear the review of the film, Rory, you got chatting to Sophie Turner and Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of mystery surrounding Jessica's character about who she actually is.
Yeah, like on IMDb, her name is Smith. That's not her name.
That is not it. That's just a lie. Lie, MDB.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll take
I'm
it.
not mad at that, but there's I'll get into it in the review, but there's reasons why they're being very specific about who she is in the film. But yeah, I sat down with them both, and the two of them, they're both obviously great actresses, but in this film specifically, you can see it in the trailer. They can do very intimidating stares fantastically well, where they're looking and they're like, I know I'm better than you and I could kill you if I decided to, but I'm just not really arsed right now. So I asked if they could give me like a little mini masterclass on how to do that, and they did, and I was terrified.
How would we do that?
I just feel dead inside sometimes.
Yeah, you know when you just suddenly kind of stare off into space and you catch yourself and you've been like this the whole time?
Yeah, and the person in your line of sight is like, are they looking at me?
But now do it while making eye contact with someone.
Okay. What? That's actually too much.
You know what happens though? You know when you stare off into space, I always, and it's so bad, but I always like find myself that I've been looking at someone's crotch.
Oh.
And I don't mean to, but it's like, you know when you stare off.
I think you do mean to, because that never happens to me.
And then I'm like...
Maybe you're sitting down and everyone else is standing up, but that's just the level that's like in front
I was
of you.
actually on the subway once. Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
I was on the subway in New York, and it can be quite aggressive. And I was just there, and I was like staring off into space, and all of a sudden I saw this woman. She like woke me out of it, and she was like...
No way.
Like that. I was like, oh God, I wasn't looking at you.
It
was just daydreaming, but she was like, what do you want?
Whoa.
Super intense.
Like
very aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, New York. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I should be better.
I'll be better.
So a couple of things in this. One, I never thought that you would have needed a lesson in giving a terrifying dead eye stare. Cause
listen, it's always good to keep your skills sharp. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Sophie Turner and Jessica Chastain seem like two of the best in the business at this, and that was terrifying. For anybody who was watching it, you obviously saw them do it. For anybody who was listening to that clip,
you could probably still kind of hear them.
Yeah, the silence is deafening in that clip as they look right through you, like deep into your soul.
My blood was like running cold for Rory watching it. Yeah.
And then they seem so laughy and jokey and friendly, and it's like bang.
Yeah, that's how you know they're good. Good at their job.
Definitely. The full interview with the two stars of the film is up on Joe as well. As you said, you do talk to Jessica about the mysterious nature of her character as well. But as ever, Sophie Turner, as we said, spent a lot of time filming in Ireland with Game of Thrones as well. And No. It's check it out. It's not too bad.
Last season any good?
But so you were obviously chatting to her about her time in Ireland, and also Jessica. Who
I was trying to figure out because obviously we knew Sophie was here, but I was
for
trying
years,
to, for
lived here.
a long ass time.
Yeah.
But I was trying to. Well, I was just like brought up naturally. I was like, "Have you been to Ireland?" I anticipated her to say no, and then I was going to ask Sophie. Well, you've been here a long time. Where would you recommend?
Of course,
Jessica to go. That didn't work out because it turns out Jessica has been here filming for a project. I'm still not entirely sure what it was. And then went on a trip around most of Ireland with her mother or her granny, I think.
Her granny, yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, that's my question.
she's like an Irish ambassador. She's like an expert.
Ruined.
Yeah.
But then the two of them went on a nice like love letter about how much they love Irish people. So it worked out in the end. But
it did.
Initially, I was like, I have to edit this while you're answering it. So this is what they had to say about their time in Ireland.
Filmed in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, and then I went on a 3-week trip with my grandmother. We started in Dublin, went all the way to Galway and Kinsale. We stayed in Kinsale for a week and all the way around the bottom.
Wow.
See, I was going to say, I was like, obviously we know you've been over a good bit. I was going to say, could you recommend somewhere for Jessica to go? It turns out she could probably tell you where to go.
She could probably tell me better.
Well, no, you filmed there longer.
Yeah, but I was in Northern Ireland.
I was too.
I only went to Ireland once when the filming was wrapped, which was crazy because it's like a 2-hour train from Belfast to Dublin. But I was too tired to ever do it because we were filming so long.
You had a good time though.
I loved it. I went to some great pubs.
Fantastic. But that's all Ireland has really.
That's all you need.
The people are really special in Ireland.
So
I remember
lovely.
Ireland and Italy are the places that you could get lost driving somewhere and you pull over to ask for directions and they invite you for a drink.
Yeah. Or they'll tell you like a 30-minute story about where you're going.
Yeah.
And you'd be like,
They're just so happy you're there. They're like, welcome, let's take care of you.
Sophie Turner and Jessica Chastain seemed like a lot of fun. If anybody actually bumped into either of them during their time in Ireland, like get in touch. Any cool stories of like, I would love to have met Jessica and her granny just turn around.
Just in Kinsale.
Yeah, just in Kinsale. You know that Sophie Turner was probably in the background somewhere just doing her dab. Was it good?
Not bad.
No?
That was okay.
Go, you do one then.
I can't.
Do one.
You
can't
just
Those cameras are filming.
Criticize someone's dab and then
but
just...
you have to give a reason for a dab. You can't just do a dab.
That was a great interview, Rory. Work. Paul, do you want to give one?
No, their camera's filming.
After the show.
Yeah.
That'll be a bonus feature.
Celebratory dab.
Yeah. So yes, X-Men Dark Phoenix in cinemas now this week.
Yep.
The X-Men films have been hit and miss. Some absolute crackers in there.
Yes.
One of my favourite action scenes of all time is still the opening of X2 with Nightcrawler in the White House.
I thought you were going to say Quicksilver in the Pentagon.
That was phenomenal as well.
That was great too.
Go back and often go back and just watch that Nightcrawler scene and just go, that is so amazing.
Done so well.
Yeah. And then, as we said, some of the films have been not so fantastic. I think it was a Wolverine or something. It was absolutely pants.
Origins was bad. Apocalypse was bad.
Apocalypse was not a great film.
The Last Stand
wasn't great.
Of course, yes.
Which was like the first time we were like, oh, these aren't going to all be good. All right.
Okay.
But that's what happens when you give a film to Brett Ratner.
That's true. But what about Dark Phoenix? Where are we on like kind of the scale of X-Men films?
Maybe the worst one.
Oh my God of Almighty! Are you serious?
The worst one, yeah. It's written by Simon Kinberg and directed by Simon Kinberg. This is the first time directing, and my interview with Simon Kinberg is on JOE.ie if you want to check it out. He also wrote the script for X-Men: The Last Stand. So why he would be like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to the one that was bad and do it again, and I'll direct it this time.
I got to do things right this time.
I'm going to fix my problems that I caused the first time. It's weak. It's quite bad.
A bit messy.
It's kind of boring.
Right.
Like at least the Last Stand. The Last Stand was messy, but like when stuff happened, like the San Francisco Bridge attack, you're like, that was cool. Good, yeah. Like there's bits in it that you're like, all right, like it's not good, but it's kind of entertaining. Just disappointing compared to X2. This one is just plain old dull. And then when stuff is happening, like Jessica Chastain is one of the greatest actresses working today. She's won Oscars, and you feel she can do anything if she wants to. And I'm sure in It Chapter 2, just in the trailer alone, you're like, great, you look great. It's horror. You can do horror as well. Fantastic. She literally does not emote in this film. Her character is apparently an amalgamation of 3 or 4 really famous comic book characters, but she's also a completely new creation that's just for this film.
Okay.
And she wants to harness the celestial phoenix power that's gone into Jean Grey to use it for a plot that I think is the exact same plot from the 4th Transformers movie, where if you remember that one, it's like, we're gonna terraform this and it's gonna be our planet now, and I don't like you guys. Like, can you not do that literally anywhere else? You have to do it here. And it's like getting her in to do, and I'm not saying this, I'm not over exaggerating this, to do nothing.
Right.
She stands there and talks in the tone that is just like, there's just no emotion in it. She doesn't do anything. She just, well,
obviously,
it's really frustrating.
Well, Sophie Turner's kind of the lead in this, obviously, because the film is about her, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Does she get a chance to at least show off her acting skills?
She does a bit more, but like, she's no Famke Jensen, because I thought she was pretty great as Jean Grey.
Oh, she was amazing, yeah.
And in this, like, they mishandle the story because it's rushed. Whereas with like the Avengers stuff, they spent so many movies leading up to Thanos, and then he actually got 2 movies to himself to play it out. With this, it's like it arrives halfway through this film, and it has to be dealt with by the end of this film.
Okay.
And like the Phoenix story in the comic books is bigger than the Thanos story.
Well, as you said, whenever it was released, like kind of early 90s, like it made this massive impact in like comic book kind of lore. And then it's like, well, there you go, half a film.
Yeah, and like even in like when it was done on the animated series, like this plot got like 3 episodes to itself, which is unheard of for like a cartoon because there's no to be continued on cartoons. It's like it starts and it ends and everything's fine. So yeah, like for them to rush along something of this size, it's the exact same mistake they made in The Last Stand, except The Last Stand had decent action sequences, and this doesn't have any.
Okay.
And everyone just seems, it really felt like it was a film that was filmed to suit everyone's availability. Fassbender's in it for maybe 5 minutes. Jennifer Lawrence, if you've seen the trailer, you'll know she's in it for maybe 5 minutes. Everything just seems like, right, we have Sophie Turner, and everyone else will get like 1 or 2 scenes around that. There's one decent scene at the end on a train that again is in the trailer, but apparently that was entirely reshot because the original ending was the exact same ending as Captain Marvel.
Oh, right, okay.
Because the whole thing was meant to take place in space, and then they're like,
we need to change that.
So they had to change it all. The last scene actually reminded me a little bit of World War Z, of all things.
Oh, okay.
Which you'll understand when you see it. And that bit's okay. It's a long time to get there. It's over really quickly. Yeah, it's a boring mess.
That's disappointing. It just seems like, Marvel handled everything right with the MCU, but this doesn't seem to be, the X-Men characters and storylines don't seem to be handled.
They will be getting
the same
them with the merger soon enough, so
well,
Marvel will be
because there's
dictating
talk
the course.
of Deadpool, X-Men coming into the MCU as well, which would be unbelievably exciting because it just feels like there might be more time and care taken over how to handle those characters and use them in the right way. Well, still massive X-Men fan. Do you think does it require like a sad dab then instead of like a happy one? Is there a sad dab?
I'd be curious to see one.
This like kind of floppy hands.
It's kind of thriller.
That is a wee bit thriller. Yeah,
very thriller.
I can get on with that. Like,
so sad dab
that doesn't annoy me.
For X-Men Dark Phoenix. It is not the only release that the X-Boys have been to see, though. There is, of course, the brand new comedy, Late Night, starring Emma Thompson, an absolute legend, both of Hollywood and just like she is a comedy genius and writer herself. And Mindy Kaling, who is the writer of Late Night as well, and also co-stars alongside Emma Thompson. So before we hear the review of Late Night, here's a little look at the film.
That's our show, everyone. I came to tell you this year is your last.
What? They can't replace you if everyone loves you.
Do none of you understand what is at stake here? I am being replaced. Think about why the show is bad and come up with ways to fix it.
I wish I was a woman of color so I could just get any job I want.
We talked about this. You can't say that.
I know what everyone thinks of me, but just because I was lucky enough to get this job doesn't mean I'm stupid enough to lose it.
What exactly is wrong with my bits?
You're a little old and a little white.
What can I do about that?
I have some jokes for the monologue. I shouldn't do this in an English accent, should I?
No.
Watch me! This is your show. It's an expression of who you are.
How would you describe Molly?
She said I was a vibrant splash of color on the gray canvas of our writing staff. I mean, whoosh.
Everybody should bow down and worship Emma Thompson because she is a genius. This looks like a really interesting role for her because obviously people are really familiar with late night US talk shows.
Yes.
Which is just wall to wall white men, basically. In terms of the hosts, the majority of them. You got Terrence Noah, Trevor Noah, sorry, who does The Daily Show as well. But so this feels like Mindy Kaling is like, time to make a point here as well, while being really kind of intelligent about it because the trailer has a lot of good gags in it as well. But is the film as funny and as smart as the trailer?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's up there with Longshot and Booksmart in terms of intelligent, funny, female-led comedies, which is great because
that's 3 in the past few weeks.
Yeah, I know it's been a great time for it.
Yeah.
It's basically 30 Rock meets The Devil Wears Prada. So I was like,
sorted.
I'm fine with this.
Definitely.
With Emma Thompson, great. It's really, really funny. Thompson plays a horrific boss, and Mindy Kaling almost accidentally ends up on her writing crew just almost by winning a competition, and everyone else in the writing crew is a straight white man, and she is, Mindy Kaling. So she comes in, she's like, I'm going to change this whole thing up and refresh everything because the numbers are declining. Breath of fresh air. And initially Emma Thompson is like, how dare you come in here and think you can tell us what to do just because you're different to all of us? And then she realizes actually the difference is what she needs to improve. And it's a slow relationship beginning, and then it all blossoms, and it's lovely and it's great. It's very funny, and it has lots of funny things to say about comedy and the workplace and working with male-dominated industries. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Brilliant, happy days. That's just a really strong run of Longshot, Booksmart, and as we said, late night as well. The full interviews with the stars of the film are up on JOE. We're going to have them on the show next week as well, so you can look forward to that because they are, again, Emma Thompson, just even though she is like so good at everything that she does, she just seems so humble and charming when it comes to it as well. And she's just like, oh, thanks for the compliments.
It was actually like a life goal achieved to have talked to her.
Amazing.
So
did you get to shake her hand?
Yeah,
Which hand?
There's been like you touch light.
Yeah.
There's always been 3 that I've always wanted to interview, and she's the second one on the list. So I've only one more to go.
You're like Arya Stark back to Game of Thrones. You just have your list. Who were the other 2?
One who I have met already is Sigourney Weaver.
Okay.
And then the one I have not met yet is Kate Winslet.
Oh, that'll be a great one as well. Yeah. I'm rooting for you, man. Hope it happens for you.
Any day now.
Any day.
Kate, just do a
Kate,
movie,
if you're
okay?
watching, make Rory's dreams come true, please. So yes, that is late night out in cinemas and highly recommended. Then definitely go and check it out for fun, smart laughs. Okay, now it's time for this week's competition giveaway. I want to say congratulations to, thanks to everybody who entered. Whether you got them right or wrong as well, still we appreciate the effort.
It's also the winning.
But mainly the winning.
More than anything.
Yeah. And congratulations in particular to Paul Hosford, who's bagged himself some Omniplex tickets, so we'll get those out to you. So last week's competition high clue was, here we go. Fed suits tasty case, makes contact with Godfather, face off with the pigs. We did the syllable count, it all checks out. Paul and Rory, did you have any inclination as to what the answer might be for that one?
I needed to sip on some Chianti before it came to me.
And fava beans and stuff.
I get it. Film references. Nice.
It's Red Dragon.
It is not Showgirls.
Manhunter.
It is not Red Dragon. It is not Manhunter. It is not Hannibal.
Rising.
It is. It is not Hannibal Rising. It is, of course, Silence of the Lambs. The reason it's Silence of the Lambs is because I say it is, but it also is because Fed suits Tasty Case. So the Fed in the film is Clarice Starling, played by Jodie Foster. So she is the FBI agent. She suits the Tasty Case. Obviously, she gets the case. It's tasty because he eats people. And she suits it because Buffalo Bill is trying to make a suit out of people as well, which is, don't do that, Buffalo Bill.
No.
Not a nice
She wears a very
character
lovely
trait.
suit as well when she's meeting
She
Hannibal
does,
Lecter.
actually. The middle line was makes contact with Godfather. She obviously meets Anthony Hopkins in the film. Contact is one of her best roles as well. Godfather, Anthony Hopkins plays Odin, father of Thor, so hence he was the Godfather there.
That's an obscure one. Yeah.
What's obscure about it?
It's hard.
It wasn't obvious.
Yeah, good. Happy
That's
days.
what obscure means.
Thanks, guys. I told you I just need to learn to read.
It's so defensive.
And the final line was face off with the pigs, because that part in Silence of the Lambs, whenever Hannibal Lecter, again, just not a nice thing to do, takes a policeman's face and wears it out of the...
That was one of my first images I remember of horror, with the body on the cages and
splayed up on the cage.
That's one of the first things I ever
All
remember.
of its insides onto the outsides.
Oh, that is a... Like, those films are just absolutely
And the
terrifying.
baton, doesn't he break a man's hand in two with the baton and then...
But,
I have a lot of time for Hannibal.
as
I
well.
think it's super underappreciated.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins, as we said before, just is rumoured to be like that unbelievably nice guy, but makes an absolutely terrifying villain. Emma Thompson would make a good villain.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she's kind of a villain in Late Night.
That's true. But she doesn't splay people or eat
That
their
we
faces,
know of.
basically. Yeah, that we know of. Yeah. So, yes, that was Silence of the Lambs from last week's one. Oh, and Face Off with the Pigs was a little subliminal. Pigs are the police in that one.
Yeah.
But a little subliminal hint at whichever one. Where
Hannibal, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman gets his face eaten as well. But
That was great.
And there's pigs in that one.
And there's pigs in that one as well. But
And then the Godfather, because doesn't he call himself God in Red Dragon? Doesn't Ray Fiennes like, I am a god?
Oh,
or something?
yeah.
Dollarhide,
So there's
wasn't
Francis Dollarhide. So there's a little connection to those ones. But the correct answer is Silence of the Lambs. Now it's time for this week's High Clue. Pens at the ready. Massive brains at the ready. Small brains at the ready. Whatever size brain you have. Here we go. It is CIA at sea. Jax, not Han, Bruce, Kirk, or Jim. Bonds with entrapped Cap. So CIA at sea. Jax, not Han, Bruce, Kirk, or Jim. Bonds with entrapped Cap.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
I think so.
You both have it? Ooh, exciting. Can't win the prize. For anybody who's listening, it's CIA, obviously the letters, at sea, S-E-A. Jax is Jack apostrophe S. And yeah, that's everything. Not Han, Bruce, Kirk, or Jim. Those are the words that I am saying. Okay, I'm intrigued to find out what you think it is. Yes, so we'll put that up on Twitter and Instagram as well, so you can send in your answers to that, and somebody will win some Omniplex tickets.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I like
that one. Okay, sweet. Are you implying that you didn't like some of the other ones?
If this is
Remember the
what
week
I
we-
think,
I could explicitly say it if you like.
if this is what I think it is, it's made me want to go back and watch it instantly now. Just
Dying to
thinking
watch
like,
this
oh,
film,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, we have come
Not
to...
a good accent to work in this.
Yes, interesting accent
But
work,
clever
definitely.
though, clever in how it was done.
Don't give away the answer. So yes, that's pretty much everything for this week. As I said, we will have the stars of Late Night on next week's show. We're also going to be taking a look at, coming soon on the Big Reviewski, it is Men in Black International, which is the fourth film in the
I
Men in Black.
understand why you'd want to just assume
3
it
was
might
gone
just
with
be the second.
yeah, with Jermaine Clement in the third one. That's right. But yes, so Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson reunited after Thor Ragnarok.
Emma Thompson again.
And Emma Thompson again. A double helping of Emma Thompson, which is no bad thing. Yes, so yeah, any plans for the week? Just going to take it easy, watch films?
Just chill.
Just chill.
Yeah, I'm going to work on my tan.
Okay.
In the dark.
Yeah. Well, Paul, go and give us one dab before we go, please. Please.
Exit dab.
Please, exit dab. Oh, God. So sorry to end like that. I can feel that dab over here. Yeah, okay. We'll see you next
That
week.
feels dank. That's
Bye.
a dank dab.